Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Kwikset number 89923-001. This is from the Kwikset 138 installation kit, and it's the 1.5" adapter ring is what this is. This is probably just cast aluminum. This material is, this entire kit is discontinued. I'm making a video a couple of years after it was discontinued while we still have old stock remaining. Figured I'd make a video of this just to archive what it looked like for the future. What would you use this item for? Let's talk about that right now. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. The Kwikset 138 would allow you to drill either a 2 1/8 inch or an 1.5" diameter bore through the door for the lock or deadbolt. The 2 1/8 obviously is extremely common, the common size for door locks, but 1.5" is not unusual either. And Schlage is a name that comes to mind first when it comes to locks, I should say deadbolts, that will take an 1.5" hole. There be 100 series, there be 400 series, there be 200 series, there be 400 series. I think the B60s will do it as well. And Kwikset had a gate latch at one time, and I don't know that they do anymore, but I believe that took an 1.5" hole. I don't know if Kwikset makes anything today that takes an 1.5" hole. They might. But why would you want an 1.5" hole? Well, for me, there's two reasons. The first and real reason that matters is because you're removing less of the door. When that diameter of that hole that you're drilling, that weakness that you're intentionally putting into the door is smaller, that's a good thing. So that's why 1.5" is a nice size to use. You're removing less of the door. The second reason is secondary, really, in that when you have hardware that will fit into a smaller hole, sometimes that hardware is smaller. And that's nice, because you can look at less hardware on the door. Baldwin has really nice petite deadbolts, but I don't think any of them take an 1.5" hole. I think theirs are an odd 1 5/8", which is nice because it's still less. But that B200 series today, it's a slam lock by Schlage, that'll go to an 1.5" hole. That's natively meant for 1.5". So this is the adapter ring. And why would you want an adapter ring? Well, obviously, if you're going to drill an 1.5" hole, you need to have a bushing to get that through there. Why would you replace it? Well, these are going to get chewed up, lost, unintentionally lost or damaged with use and time, and that's why you'd probably be looking to replace this. Without this, it's awfully hard to drill an 1.5" with your kit. Let's take some basic dimensional properties. Overall thickness of the 1.5" adapter ring is 0.681, so basically 11/16. The outside diameter of the flange looks like it's 2.422 inch. The diameter underneath that flange, for the sake of giving it, 2.217. And then the ID, we can kind of predict what that's going to be. My caliper tells me that it's 1.586. 1.586. So just about a 1/16 of an inch, a little bit more, larger than an 1.5" is the bottom line. Let's switch to the screen view, and I'll show you some supporting information regarding this item and the Kwikset 138. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, here is our item that we are indeed looking at. That's what it looked like originally when it came from the factory. In its packaging, the one that we have here may have been pulled out of a kit, so it's not in the carded shrink wrap packaging. But that's what it looks like. Speaking of what it looks like, here's some photographs just to show you other views of what this would look like. You know, and why Kwikset would discontinue this, you know, I don't know. I can tell you that I believe that we're the last company, and have been for a year, that had any inventory on hand. Something tells me that they're expensive, is what it is why people may not purchase those. Back in the early 90s, when those kits were literally in these red cases, these kits were $238 or $184, something in that range. I think they went in 1990 from $175 up to about $220 5 years later. That's the way that I first remember these. Westlock always made kits as well, Porter Cable. Then your lock manufacturers, Schlage and Best, would have those in their catalogs, along with the people who probably made them for those companies, like A1 and ProLock and Major Manufacturing. But this is the Kwikset 138 kit, and that adapter ring would be right there. Now, our adapter ring, in the extended description, we have a table showing all of the other parts. You can click on these links to get to these other parts, and any video that we've made, I've added in this column here. Okay. Now, the important part of showing this to you is you can get to the instructions for the Kwikset 138. It's just an encyclopedic document, and there's your ring adapter. Okay. So the shaft, or the shank, on your 2 1/8 or 1.5 inch is the same, so it's going to fit in the arm correctly, but then you really want to have your ring adapter to bring that bit through, as you would see here. Okay, because you don't want that to move around at all on you in this sort of fashion as you're getting through the door. So that's your ring adapter. You can imagine as you're approaching that ring adapter with your multi-spur bit, yeah, you're probably going to goober that up a little bit over time, is the bottom line. So wanted to point out to you where these instructions were, should you want to refresh your memory as to how this all works. There's a link below this video as seen here to the manufacturer's page, and from here you can pull up not only all of the Kwikset products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation as seen here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to catalogs and encyclopedic documents. I happen to have a Kwikset rekeying manual that's here. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've made it this far into this video, you must be determined to see it through to the end, and we appreciate your hanging in there with us and watching this entire video. It means a lot. It takes a lot of work to create these videos, in the sense that it's time taken away from doing other things. However, the advantage for me personally of creating these videos is the fact that it does allow myself to either learn about something new, to reacquaint myself with something, or to reinforce what I believe that I already know. Any comments that you might leave down below would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Now, in conclusion, most everybody knows the name Kwikset. What's important about Kwikset is they, from what I've been told, are the largest lock manufacturer in terms of units manufactured per day. I had been told one time that their various factories ship 1 million locks a day. That's a staggering number. I heard it from an industry, from an industry expert at an industry convention. I wouldn't be surprised at all, given the fact that they're certainly North American in terms of their reach. I don't know about outside of outside of North America. Kwikset is known for a low-cost residential lock. That is true. They are. But Kwikset has a really important place within the entire industry. You're going to do jobs where you aren't doing $180 for a grade 2 cylindrical lock. That's the bottom line. Kwikset has a decent platform of material, no more or less than anyone else's, given the market that they try to fit into. But what does separate them is their technology. Their smart key technology is really interesting. If you were to take that cylinder apart and understand how you can use a key and then do something to the cylinder and insert a new key and have it rekeyed, is sheer brilliance. I don't know what role the people at Kwikset played in that technology, or forming it, or taking what already existed in that concept and then evolving it. But it's just pure brilliance, the people who thought that up. Obviously, Kwikset's involved somewhere. It's their technology, whether they patented and invented it or they paid for it. They recognize the importance of the technology. Beyond that, every time that I've spoken to Kwikset, a company who's known for low-cost locks, every time I've spoken to them, the person on the other side of the phone absolutely knows their product line stone cold. This person, the last person I spoke to, did not need the catalog, knew exactly what it was for. It's as if this person, this lady, had years of experience in the plant, and it could be the only way to me that it would make sense that this lady knew so intimately the part that I was referring to, some odd piece of a deadbolt that I didn't understand how it worked, and there was no published documentation. She knew it perfectly. She allowed me to be able to understand what role it played in the lock, and then describe that to others who were asking me that question. So their tech support is phenomenal. Think of them as a low-cost lock. That's what they are. But you should also know that their tech support people are anything but low cost. Any questions on the Kwikset 89923-001 1.5-inch adapter ring or any other Kwikset product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.